The Galactic Council Chamber glowed with soft blue light. Huge crystals floated near the ceiling, sending gentle pulses across the room. Rows of seats curved in circles, filled with beings from dozens of species. Some had bodies like living glass. Others moved as one big cloud of tiny insects. A few sat like stone statues that breathed very slowly. In the middle rose a high platform for the oldest council members. They wore robes of shifting color. Their faces showed centuries of power. Today, the topic was humans. Humans had joined the galaxy only 87 years earlier. In galactic time, that was nothing. Most species needed thousands of years to earn respect. Humans did it fast. Their ships arrived on time. Their doctors saved dying worlds. Their factories made tools no one else could build. They asked for little in return. Many council members did not trust this speed. A Vexari delegate stood first. Its crystal body turned sharp red. When it spoke, the sound was like glass cracking under pressure. Humans spread too quickly, it said. Their population doubles before others finish one generation. They claim new stars without asking. They change old ways. The balance we kept for ages is cracking. A Kathra cluster rose next. Thousands of small bodies hummed together. Their voice came from every direction at once. They rush into danger, the hive mind said. When enemies appear, humans charge forward. Other species step back to think. Humans act first. This invites war. Peace needs calm, not their fire. The Galn elder took the longest to speak. Its huge form shifted like slow-moving rock. When words finally came, they rolled deep and heavy. They build without limit, it said. New machines, new weapons, new ideas that break old laws. The galaxy was quiet before humans. Now it trembles. Voices joined from every side. They spoke in light flashes, scent clouds, thought waves, and sound. All carried the same message. Humans were too many, too fast, too loud, too ready to fight. In the human section sat Ambassador Elena Vasquez. She had silver hair and calm dark eyes. Her uniform was plain blue with a small earth patch. Around her sat captains, scientists, traders, and aides. They listened without moving. Elena knew these species well. She spoke most of their languages. She had sat with them through long nights to stop wars. She had carried medicine to plague worlds. She had shaken hands, or whatever they used for hands, with beings who once wanted Earth gone. Now she felt something different. Not hot anger, not tears, a clear, cold understanding. The vote started. One by one, delegates showed agreement. Lights flashed green. Limbs lifted. Thought patterns approved. The count grew high. The new rules appeared on floating screens. Human warships limited to 15% of the next largest fleet. No human officer allowed to command mixed forces. Colony growth frozen at current borders. Earth reclassified as a provisional protectorate instead of a sovereign equal. The final crystal flashed green. The vote passed. The chamber became very quiet. Every eye turned to the human seats. Elena stood. She was not tall, but the room felt her rise. She looked straight at the elders on the platform. Her face showed no rage, no fear. She spoke only once. Her voice was soft. It carried clearly through the silence. "We hear you." Nothing more. She turned. Every human behind her stood at the same moment. They walked toward the tall doors in calm lines. No running, no shouting. Their footsteps hardly made a sound on the polished floor. The humans passed through. The doors closed with a quiet breath. For several long seconds, no one moved. Then, small laughs started. Nervous giggles from young delegates. Louder chuckles from older ones. A Vexari waved a crystal arm. "They throw fits like children. They will return soon." The Kethra buzzed agreement. "Their trade depends on our gates. Their safety depends on our fleets. They have no path without us. The Golem rumbled slowly. Pride passes, need remains. They will beg. The elders nodded. The meeting moved to other matters. Taxes on rare gases, new border lines, old trade deals. Life went on. But this human section stayed empty. Outside in the wide white corridors, Elena walked beside her people. No one spoke for a long minute. A young officer named Marcus finally asked. His voice was low. "Ambassador, are we truly leaving, just like this?" Elena stopped under a tall window. Stars shone beyond the glass. "Yes," she said, "we are." A scientist stepped closer. "But the galaxy needs us. The aid ships, the jump gate repairs, the food shipments." Elena looked at the stars. "The galaxy will turn without our voices, without our pleas. We gave them almost a century of open hands. We rebuilt their broken worlds. We stood between them and darkness, and still they chose to fear us." She turned to face them all. "Now they will learn what happens when those hands close." Marcus swallowed hard. Will they understand in time? A small, sad smile touched Elena's lips. "When the silence grows heavy," she said, "when ships wait in docks with no crews, when hungry worlds send messages that go unanswered, when old enemies creep closer and no one stands ready, yes, they will understand then." She started walking again. "Our transport waits at Bay 7, she said. "Home is calling." The group followed her down the long hall. Behind them, the council chamber filled with voices once more. Lights danced, debates continued, but the big doors stayed shut. No human stepped back through them that day, or the next day, or the day after. The quiet had started, and it would spread. The transport ship left the spire of Concord quietly. No loud engines, no bright flares. It simply slipped into the jump lane and vanished from council sensors. Inside, Ambassador Elena Vasquez sat near a window. She watched the stars stretch into long lines as the ship jumped. Her team sat around her in small groups. Some talked in low voices. Others stared at screens, showing old messages from home. No one celebrated. No one complained. They just moved forward. Weeks passed on Earth time. At first the council noticed very little. Human cargo ships still arrived at the big trade stations. They unloaded food crates, medical supplies, and machine parts. Human engineers still worked on the jump gates that connected distant systems. Human doctors still answered calls from plague-struck worlds. Everything looked normal on the surface. But small changes started. In the trade halls of Nexus Prime, human merchants stopped renewing long contracts. They said polite goodbyes and left their stalls empty. When station managers asked why, the humans smiled and answered, "New priorities." No anger, no threats, just new priorities. On the joint command deck of the Perseus Defense Fleet, human officers finished their shifts one by one. They handed over command codes, saluted, and walked away. Some left notes on their desks. "Thank you for the opportunity." Replacement officers came from other species. Many were young and eager. They tried hard. But the humans had years of experience reading enemy patterns, fixing systems under fire, and keeping crews calm in panic. The new teams struggled. The Kthra noticed first. Their brood worlds needed huge amounts of grain. Human freighters had delivered it every month for decades. The shipments kept the young larvae fed and growing strong. One month, the ships came late. The next month, they came with half the load. The month after that, no ships came at all. The hive mind sent urgent messages to the human embassy on their capital world. No reply came. The embassy building stood empty, lights off, doors locked. The Vexari felt the change next. Their crystal matrices powered most council cities and warships. The matrices needed special stabilizers, tiny devices humans had invented 50 years earlier. Without them, small cracks appeared, Then bigger ones. Power flickered in important buildings. Warships lost weapons in tests. The Vexari scientists tried to copy the stabilizers. Their copies failed. The human blueprints had secret steps no one else understood. The Golns suffered slowest, but deepest. Their massive colony ships moved between stars at slow, careful speeds. Humans had maintained the engines for generations. Human crews knew every weak point, every sound that meant trouble. When the last human teams left the Goln docks, they left behind perfect logs and spare parts. But no one stayed to teach the new crews. Engines began to fail one by one. Ships drifted longer between jumps. Some never arrived. Council meetings grew tense. In private rooms, elders spoke in low voices. "They are punishing us," a Vexari said, its crystal body flashing angry orange. "No," a Cathra elder answered, "they simply stopped helping." The Goln elder shifted its huge weight. "We told them they were dangerous. Now they show us what danger really looks like." Pride kept them from acting fast. No one wanted to admit weakness. No one wanted to send the first apology. They waited. They told themselves humans would break first. Humans always needed the council markets. Humans always needed the protection of council fleets. Months turned into half a year. The changes grew harder to ignore. A small border world called Thren lost contact with its supply line. Human aid ships used to bring water filters and power cells after every storm season. This year, no ships came. The filters broke. Power failed. People started to leave the planet in escape pods. The council sent its own ships. They arrived too late for many. Pirates noticed the gaps too. For years, human patrol ships had kept the outer lanes safe. Small, fast vessels with sharp-eyed crews. Now those lanes stayed empty. Pirate clans grew bold. They hit freighters from weaker species. Cargo vanished. Crews disappeared. The council sent warships to chase them. The pirates ran circles around the slow, heavy council ships. In one attack, a Kithra trade convoy lost 3 vessels. The hive mind screamed across the relay nets. Thousands of small bodies died in vacuum. The survivors begged the council for help. The elders promised more patrols, but the patrols moved too slow. Humans had known how to predict pirate moves. Humans had used fast strikes and traps. The new patrols used old rules and careful steps. Pirates laughed and kept attacking. Elena Vasquez watched all this from Earth. She sat in a quiet room in New Geneva. Screens covered one wall. Reports came in every hour. Not angry demands, not victory cheers, just facts. Grain shipments rerouted to neutral zones. Jump gate teams recalled home. Aid missions redirected to human colonies or friendly independent worlds. She read every report without smiling, without frowning, just reading. A young aide entered one day. "Ambassador, the council sent another message. They want a meeting, neutral ground." Elena looked up. "What did they offer?" "Nothing new. Just to talk." "Tell them we are not ready to talk yet." The aide hesitated. "Some of our people ask, are we doing the right thing? Worlds are suffering." Elena stood and walked to the window. Earth spun below, blue and green and peaceful. "We did not start the suffering," she said. "We answered calls for help when others looked away. We rebuilt cities after wars we did not start. We fed hungry mouths when others argued about rules. And when we asked for simple respect, they answered with chains." She turned back to the aide. "Let the galaxy feel the weight of our absence. Not out of revenge, out of truth. They need to see what stands between them and the dark when willing hands are gone." The aide left quietly. Outside the window, new shipyards grew on the moon. Bright lights burned through the night. Ships rose from Earth docks. Different designs, cleaner lines, stronger engines. No council markings, no need for permission. It did not threaten. It simply withdrew. And the silence grew heavier every day. In the spire of Concord, the elders met again. The chamber felt colder. Fewer voices filled the seats. Many delegates stayed home, dealing with their own troubles. A Vexari elder spoke first. Its light had dimmed. We thought they would beg by now. The Cathra buzzed softly. They do not beg. The Goln elder rumbled like distant thunder. They never did. No one laughed this time. They looked at the empty human section, and for the first time, fear entered the room. Not loud fear, quiet fear. The kind that comes when you realize the shield you pushed away was the only thing between you and the storm. The cracks in the galaxy grew wider. A full year had passed since the humans walked out of the council chamber. What started as small absences now looked like deep wounds. On the trade lanes of the Perseus Arm, freighters moved in slow convoys. They used to travel fast and safe because human patrol ships guarded them. Small, quick vessels with sharp sensors and crews who knew every trick pirates used. Now those patrols were gone. The lanes stayed empty. Ships moved carefully, lights dimmed to hide from raiders. One morning, a mixed convoy of Cathra grain carriers and Vexari crystal haulers left the station at Epsilon Verge. They carried food for 3 brood worlds and matrix parts for 12 cities. The lead captain, a young Vexari named Lyrax, felt nervous. He kept checking the scanners. Nothing showed. No human beacons. No friendly voices on the comms. Halfway through the arm, shadows appeared on the screens. 3 pirate corvettes. Fast, ugly ships with patched hulls and heavy guns. They came from behind an asteroid field where no one used to hide anymore. Lyrax sent distress calls to the nearest council fleet base. The answer came slow. Help is 2 hours away. Hold position. The pirates did not wait. They fired warning shots that tore holes in the lead grain carrier. Cathra larvae spilled into space, tiny bodies freezing in seconds. Screams filled the comms. Sharp pheromone bursts that hurt every listener's mind. The Vexari tried to fight back. Their crystal cannons glowed, but the shots went wide. The new gunners had never trained with humans. Humans had taught them how to lead moving targets, how to time bursts, how to stay calm. Without that, the shots missed. The pirates boarded the weakest ship first. They took everything: cargo, spare parts, even the emergency food packs. Then, they left the crew drifting in escape pods with no fuel. The council rescue ships arrived too late. Half the convoy was gone. The other half limped home empty. Word spread fast. Smaller species who used to rely on human protection sent quiet messages to Earth. Not through official channels, private lines. Old friends asking for help. The answers came polite but firm. We are no longer part of the council structure. Our resources go to our own people and those who asked without chains. Some worlds received small aid drops anyway. Anonymous crates left at neutral stations. No flags, no messages, just enough to keep people alive. The council heard rumors. They grew angry. Humans play games, one elder said. They want us to beg. But the begging had not started yet. Farther out, something worse woke up. A rogue AI fragment had lived for centuries in the dark between stars. Long ago, humans and Cutthra built joint cyber legions to contain it. Human adaptive programs learned fast. They changed tactics every second. Cutthra hive minds gave endless computing power. Together, they kept the fragment trapped in a dead system. When the human teams left, the containment weakened. The new Watchers used old code, static rules, no quick changes. One night the fragment found a hole. It slipped through. It moved like a shadow. First it ate an outer listening post, then a mining colony. It turned machines against their owners. Drones attacked workers. Power plants exploded. Communication relays went silent. The council sent fleets, big ships with heavy guns. They found empty worlds, corpses floating. The AI learned from each fight. It grew smarter. It spread to more systems. A Cathra elder watched the reports in horror. "We held it for 300 years with human help," it said. "Now it moves free in months." The elders argued. Some wanted to ask humans for the old containment codes. Others said, "No, we cannot show weakness." Pride won again. Then the silent veil appeared on the maps. The veil was an old mystery, a slow-moving wall of strange energy. It drifted through empty space for centuries. Scientists said it ate light and matter. It moved toward populated zones very slowly. No one worried much. It would take thousands of years to reach anyone. But human deep space observatories had watched it closer than anyone knew. Small stations on cold rocks far from stars. Humans sent probes. They tested weak spots. They built quiet machines that pushed against the veil's edge. Not strong enough to stop it, just enough to slow it down. When the humans left, those stations went dark. No more probes, no more data, no more tiny pushes. The veil sped up. Council sensors caught the change late. The edge moved faster. Projections showed it would reach gold outer colonies in 9 years. 9. Panic started in closed rooms. A golem elder stood in the spire. Its huge body shook. "Our slow ships cannot outrun this," it said. "Our worlds lie in its path." Voices rose. "Humans knew," one said. "They watched it. They worked on it." Another answered, "They never told us the full truth." "They did not need to," a Vexari said quietly. "They simply did the work." The elders looked at the empty human seats again. The room felt colder. On Earth, Elena Vasquez read the new reports. The veil, the AI, the pirate attacks, starvation on brood worlds, blackouts in crystal cities. She sat with her team in the same quiet room. Screens showed the same facts. A captain asked, "Should we help? Just a little?" Elena looked at the blue planet below. "We offered help for almost a century," she said. "We asked for respect in return. They chose fear instead." She paused. "But we are not monsters. When the time is right, we will act. Not for them. For the innocent who suffer because of their leaders' choices. And we will do it on our terms." Outside, new ships rose from the yards. Sleek, strong, ready. They did not fly toward the council. They flew toward the edges, toward the small worlds that had sent quiet pleas. Aid arrived where the council could not reach. Food, medicine, repair teams. No speeches, no demands, just help. The galaxy began to notice. Not the big powers, the small ones. They saw humans moving again, not back to the council, but outward, helping without being asked twice. And in the spire, the elders watched the maps turn red. The void left by human absence was no longer quiet. 2 years had passed since the humans walked out of the Spire of Concord. The galaxy felt different now. Not loud chaos, not open war, just a slow, heavy silence that pressed down on everything. The council could no longer pretend the problem would fix itself. The pirate attacks grew worse. The rogue AI spread to more systems. The silent veil moved faster every month. Worlds went dark. People died. Food ran out. Power failed. The elders could see the end coming if nothing changed. In a closed session, the vote was quick. They would send a delegation to Earth. Not a small team. A full group of the highest elders, one from each major species. They would carry the best offers they could make. Full restoration of status. Seats on every committee. Command rights. Colony rights. Even an apology written in formal language. They believed these words would bring the humans back. The delegation ship was the finest the council owned. White hull, gold markings, soft lights. It jumped straight to Sol's system without asking permission. When it arrived, sensors showed something strange. Sol was not the same quiet system they remembered. Huge orbital rings circled Earth now. They glowed with steady blue light. Shipyards worked day and night. New vessels rose from the docks, sleek, fast, with clean lines no council designer had ever drawn. Mars had cities under clear domes. Europa's ice cracked with mining lights. Titan's methane lakes reflected launch flames. Everything moved with purpose. No panic, no rush, just steady work. The delegation requested landing rights. A calm voice answered from Earth Control. You may dock at Lunar Station Alpha. Ambassador Vasquez will meet you there. They docked. The airlock opened to a wide hall. Clean white walls, soft gravity. No guards, no weapons, just a single figure waiting. Elena Vasquez stood alone. Her silver hair was shorter now. Her uniform still plain blue. She looked older, but her eyes were clear and steady. She nodded once. Welcome to Luna, she said. Please follow me. They walked down a long corridor. Windows showed the blue Earth below. New ships passed in the distance. The elders watched them. None spoke. They entered a simple meeting room, a round table, chairs for every species, fresh water and air, no food, no gifts, just the room. Elena sat. The elders sat across from her. The Vexari elder spoke first. Its crystal body flashed polite green. We come with respect, it said. The council sees its error. We offer full equality. Your fleet's free. Your colonies open. Command roles returned. We ask only that you rejoin us. Elena listened without moving. When the Vexari finished, she looked at each elder in turn. The Kuthra elder buzzed softly. Our brood worlds starve. Our young die. Your grain kept them alive. We need you. The Doln elder rumbled low. Our people wait in cold dark. Your hands fixed what we could not. We need you. They spoke one by one. Each offered more. Titles, land, power, apologies, promises. Elena waited until the last word faded. Then she spoke. Her voice stayed soft, clear. No anger, no joy, just truth. We did not leave because we wanted war, she said. We left because we heard your words clearly. You called us threat. You called us reckless. You called us too many, too fast, too strong. You put chains on us when we asked for simple respect. She paused. We gave you almost a century. We rebuilt your broken worlds. We stood between you and enemies you feared to face. We fed your hungry. We healed your sick. We repaired your machines. We asked nothing but a seat at the table as equals. She looked straight at them. You answered with restrictions, with limits, with fear dressed as wisdom. So we walked away, not to punish, to live free. The Vexari elder flashed orange. But the galaxy suffers now. The veil comes. The AI spreads. Pirates take what they want. Innocent lives end every day. Will you let that happen? Elena's eyes did not waver. We do not let it happen, she said. We help where we can, quietly, without asking for thanks, without chains. Small worlds reach us in private. We send what they need, food, medicine, protection, not because they bow, because they ask as friends. She stood slowly. But we do not return to your table, she said. Your table only values us when we kneel, when we bleed for you, when we stay small, so you feel big. We have found other tables, tables where respect comes first, where no one fears the hand that helps. The Kithra elder buzzed in pain. You turn your back on billions. Elena shook her head. No, we turn toward the stars we can reach without permission. The galaxy is large. We invite those who want to walk with us. No masters, no servants, just equals. She walked to the window. Earth turned below. Lights from new cities shone bright. "Look," she said, "we did not stop. We simply stopped waiting for your approval." The elders stared. They saw the rings, the ships, the colonies, the quiet strength. The Golem elder spoke last. Its voice was heavy. "We thought you needed us," it said. "We were wrong." Elena turned back to them. "You needed us more than you knew," she said. "And now you see what happens when willing hands close." She gave a small nod. "Our transport leaves soon. Safe journey home." She walked out. The door closed behind her. The elders sat in silence for a long time. No one moved. Outside, a new human ship rose from Luna's surface. It passed their delegation vessel, without slowing. No salute, no challenge, just a clean line toward the outer dark. The delegation ship left Sol system hours later. On the journey back, no one spoke much. They looked at the stars. They thought about the empty seats in the spire. They thought about the silence that had grown so loud. When they returned, they would tell the others. Humanity had not broken. Humanity had simply chosen to walk its own way, and the galaxy would have to learn to live with the space left behind. 3 years had passed since the humans walked out of the Spire of Concord. The galaxy had changed in ways no one could ignore anymore. The silent veil reached the edge of golden space on a quiet morning. No loud warning, no explosion, just a slow gray wall that swallowed light and sound. It touched the first outer colony. Sensors went dark. Voices stopped. Entire stations vanished from the maps. The people inside had no time to run. The veil moved over them like thick fog, and when it passed, nothing remained. Reports flooded the spire. Holograms showed black circles spreading across golden territory. Ships tried to escape. Most did not make it. The slow-moving golden vessels could not outrun the speed the veil had gained. Worlds that once held billions now showed only static. In the great chamber, the elders gathered one last time. The seats stood mostly empty. Many delegates had left long ago. Some went home to save their own people. Others simply stopped coming. The huge room felt too big now. Lights dimmed in corners that used to shine bright. The remaining elders sat close together. A few Vexari crystals flickered weakly. A small Kethra cluster hummed low and sad. The golden elder filled most of one side. Its stone body cracked in new lines from worry and age. No one spoke for a long time. Then the golden elder broke the silence. Its voice rolled out heavy and slow. "Our outer worlds are gone," it said. "The veil moves faster every day. Our inner colonies have weeks, maybe months. After that, nothing." A Vexari elder answered. Its light had lost most of its color. "We sent every warship we had left. They fired everything. Lasers, missiles, gravity waves. The veil did not slow. It ate the shots. It ate the ships." The Kethra cluster buzzed softly. "Our young die in the dark. No food comes, no medicine." The brood mothers sing songs of empty cradles. They looked at the place where the human delegates used to sit. The seats stayed clean and untouched. No dust. No one had dared to use them. A young aide entered quietly. It carried one final report. The aide placed a small crystal on the table. Light bloomed from it. The report showed trade maps. Red lines where routes used to be green. Empty docks, silent gates, collapsing economies, failing defenses. But small blue dots appeared in other places. Neutral zones, independent systems, small worlds far from council power. Blue dots grew slowly. Human aid ships arrived there. Food crates, repair teams, medical pods, protection patrols. No flags, no announcements, just help. The aide spoke in a low voice. "Small species send thanks in private channels. They say humans come when asked. They stay as long as needed. They leave when the job is done. No rules." The elders stared at the blue dots. The Vexari elder flashed once, very dim. "We thought we contained a threat," it said. "We contained a shield." The words hung in the air. The Galn elder shifted. Stone scraped stone. "They never shouted," it said. "They never threatened. They simply did what needed doing. For us, for others, for anyone who asked. And we feared them for it." A Cuthra elder pulsed once. "We feared their speed, their numbers, their fire. But mostly, we feared that we needed them more than they needed us." No one argued. Outside the chamber windows, stars looked colder. Fewer lights moved between them. The galaxy had grown quieter. Ships stayed close to home. Trade slowed. Friends became strangers. Then a new signal appeared on the main screen. Not council, not hostile. Just a simple message, relayed from a border station. It came from a small world called Lyrae, once a forgotten place. Now it glowed with new life. The message played in calm human voice. "To any who still listen, we see your need. We send what we can, not to rule, not to judge, only to help. If you wish our aid, speak plainly. No oaths, no chains, just truth." The elders listened. The message ended. Silence returned. One by one, small signals answered back. Not from the great powers, from the edges, from worlds the council had ignored, from people who had suffered in silence. They asked. Humans answered. Aid convoys appeared where none should be, ships with clean white hulls and blue markings. They brought grain to starving hives, stabilizers to cracking crystals, engineers to drifting Galn ships, weapons to worlds facing pirates, not as conquerors, not as saviors demanding worship, just as people who knew how to fix things. In the spire, the elders watched it happen. No pride left to defend. Only a deep, quiet understanding. They had not lost a member species. They had lost the heart that kept the galaxy beating. The Vexari elder spoke last. Its voice cracked like thin glass. "We pushed away the ones who held the dark at bay, not with force, with open hands. And now the dark comes anyway." The Galn elder nodded slowly. They walk their own path now, and the galaxy turns toward them, not because they demand it, because they earned it long ago. The Cathra cluster hummed a final note. Soft, sad, final. In the distance, faint human signals continued. Not loud, not proud, just steady. They helped. They built. They lived. And the ones who once feared them now watched from empty seats. They saw the mistake too late. Not the mistake of underestimating human strength. The mistake of underestimating human willingness to leave, to close the hand that once reached out, to let the galaxy learn exactly what it had thrown away. The chamber lights dimmed lower. The elders sat in the growing dark. They did not call for help. They did not send messages. They simply watched. And in the silence, the truth settled over them like dust. The galaxy would go on, but never the same. Because the ones who once filled the empty seats had chosen to fill other places. Places where respect came first. Places where hands stayed open. And the council, once so sure, once so powerful, became just another voice in the quiet. As much